Let's embark on a transformative journey together, where we tackle self-limiting beliefs and unlock the potential within each of us. In this episode, we will explore real-life stories and strategies that shift you out of the mindset of I can't to I can. The key takeaways I hope you'll get is identifying self-limiting beliefs. Like, do you often find yourself declaring that you are not good at something, like mental math or meal planning, and discover these beliefs might be holding you back, and the hidden impact that they could have on your life. I also am going to share with you some real life story transformation. Hear about a colleague who once struggled with technology, convinced it was against her, until she transformed her approach and conquered her tech challenges. Then we're going to look at rebuilding foundations. Learn the power of revisiting foundational practices. Just like in yoga, sometimes going back to the basics can help you master new heights. And then let's look at the role of our environment and influence. Understand that the people around us and the community that we engage in is actually a part of what shapes our beliefs and actions. So explore how aligning yourself with supportive networks can foster growth. And then we're going to look at some practical tools for change. Tools like journaling to help identify and shift ingrained thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve you. Creating systems for success is another thing. Discover the importance of setting up systems and processes to turn perceived weaknesses into strengths, whether that's in your personal life or your business endeavors. So join me in exploring these insights and more, setting the stage for a life by design, not by default. Keep listening if you wish to start transforming your self-limiting beliefs into stepping stones towards success. Do you desire to live a life that supports you in thriving? A life based on understanding your unique design and engaging more in your passions? I'm Marie-Nicole, and I am devoted to combining beauty, uniqueness, and connection in everyday living experiences. As a creative professional and Dharma coach, I help people connect to the truth of who they are and facilitate them in embodying their uniqueness. I am also a mother of two precious young men, and with children in tow, have established and run unique businesses, embrace opportunities that have contributed to my creative career, while creating magical memories and living my life by design too. It's my hope that this podcast inspires you to live your life on your terms and earn your income through being uniquely you. Whether that's working for yourself or someone else, the key here is living a life in alignment with your unique design. After all, it's our unique thread that we each contribute to the collective tapestry that creates the whole. Find yourself saying things like, I'm not very good at fill in the blank, like calculating in my head, coming up with content ideas, working out a meal plan, whatever the case may be. You just don't feel like you're naturally inclined in that way, or the universe is conspiring against you in that area of your life. Because when you walk up to a piece of equipment that requires Wi-Fi connection, the thing just never works. I have a friend who used to be just like that. She worked with me in my retail store, and every time she went to use the FPOS machine or iPad, she would declare that technology did not like her. And sure enough, every piece of equipment had a conniption and did not work. I believed it was more the frequency that she approached it with that was the problem rather than the machine, as she had already predicted the outcome with her declaration and set herself up to be right every time. It became a running joke, and of course this was not something that we could sustain, especially in peak period and late night trading in the lead up to the festive season. So we worked on her overcoming this issue with technology and set her up for success instead. Sure enough, over the 6 years of working in that store, she did eventually reach a point where she was able to work with the machines without any challenge. Now, I'm sure you have stories like this of your own, but with a different set of details. We all do. I used to have it with yoga. My yoga practice for years, I would do a particular sequence over and over again, but I still could not master the peak pose. It frustrated me to no end, and for whatever reason, I had firmly planted in my thoughts that I was just not able to do this pose, until I went back and revisited foundational level yoga practices and started again at a base level to build my ability up to be able to do this peak pose. Eventually, when I revisited this particular sequence, I was able to do the peak pose. So what is it in your life at the moment that you may need to rebuild the foundations of? Set up systems and processes to enable you to advance in an area that you're currently feeling limited in. Could it be even more foundational than a skill? Could it be your thoughts, your eating habits, your fitness regime or lack thereof? Sometimes what you may need is to work on your quality of sleep so that your mind and body are refreshed enough to approach challenges with a more of a can-do attitude. Or it could be that you need more movement in your body and help trapped emotions and energy move through your system. Let's explore the idea of thoughts though for a moment, paying attention to those first thoughts and responses that come through, digging a little deeper into what's actually behind them. Could they be rooted in childhood beliefs that you haven't yet pulled up by the root and removed from your subconscious? Or could it be that your first thoughts are a result of an accumulation of influences over your lifetime, from those in your network, your community, without you even realizing that you've taken on those as your own beliefs? I liken this to gaining weight. We can easily gain 5 kilos or even 10 kilos of extra weight without really noticing it until one day you look in the mirror and think, when did that happen? Each kilo just seemed to creep in and layer up until you start seeing the signs, an extra layer that forms over as a belly roll or overhanging the sides of your waistband of your jeans, which a year ago wasn't the case. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, right? It's a slow process of layering as a side effect of many decisions. Our thoughts are similar. Even if you are single and self-employed, feeling liberated to call your own shots, if you start recording your thoughts and reasons and justifications, you will start to notice that some of them aren't really thoughts you believe, but things that have just come to mind as a response as you have absorbed what others have said in your presence, maybe several times over, to the point where it became an automatic response for you. So those responses you have when it comes to why you can't overcome a challenge or reach a new level in your journey of elevation, maybe they're not even what you truly believe at an essence level. They could have simply been developed from a fusion of experiences and expressions that have contributed to your internal dialogue. I liken this to the automatic response I often hear in the queue of the supermarket checkout. When a customer approaches the cashier and they say, "How are you today?" And the response is, "Good, how are you?" And to which they respond, "Getting there." And I can't help but think, where is it exactly that they're getting to? Or the other one that I only really started to hear when I moved to this region was, "Good, how are you?" And to which the response would be, "Well, but I can't say that I'm good," which was a lovely tongue-in-cheek expression that seemed to be more commonly expressed by the older generation of this region. Now, there's also another common response that I only really started to hear when I moved to this area, which is living the dream, someone else's idea of a dream. And while these are, pretty innocent and they sound funny, but when you really dig deep into the impact of what these phrases express, they say that things are really not ideal. Which, even if that's not what they actually believe to be true, it's what they are telling themselves about their existence. So if that were really the case, if things are not ideal, then what needs to happen to improve the situation? We need to take note on what we have control over improving for ourselves, right? And take aligned action to do so. Set up systems and conditions in order to foster that ideal situation we desire. That's living your life by design. A part of this is recognizing the people we surround ourselves with do have a significant impact on our beliefs. If you are starting a business as a side hustle and no one else around you is, and they just don't understand why you choose to spend your spare time working on this project, which is not yet making you enough money to leave your job that offers you the security to pay your bills, then connecting with others who are also working towards creating a living from doing what they are passionate about, working towards a greater mission than simply paying the bills, working for the weekends and holidays, is really important because they will understand your perspective rather than make you question it. And not intentionally, it's just by default. The systems you need to put into place for yourself are going to be different, as you not only need to sustain the physical capacity to do the work you get paid for in your job, but you also need the mental capacity and self-belief that what you are creating on the side, keeping the long-term vision in mind, but also not losing sight of other aspects of your life that you value, like connection with those that you love. You need to be able to create an undeniable belief in your ability, so you too are working towards getting there. But what will get you there is also what you have in the here and now, in terms of your ability, skills, knowledge, meaning you're leveraging what you already have in the here and now. So you are not just seeking to be well, but not good. You need to tune into what you have within you that you can build from. And so you are not just living a dream that is insufficient for you, but considered amazing by someone else's standard. You are the creator of your reality. Each step of your journey is a part of that overall dream that you are living. Life is a journey, not a destination, right? So all this to say that being conscious of your thoughts, our automatic responses, our self-fulfilling limiting prophecies is an important aspect of living a life we desire. Taking responsibility for making improvements where they are needed, going back to the basics in some areas of our skills, if that is what is required to elevate us to the next level. One of the practices I have found to be invaluable when it comes to recognizing the thoughts that have been accumulated over time, as well as connecting to the truth of who I am and to my internal guidance system, is journaling. Self-assessment, self-awareness, making discerning decisions that align with my own beliefs, and being honest with myself about areas that I can make adjustments and improvements to reach my goals and realize my dreams, rather than justifying my limitations based on the beliefs of others that I have taken on board by association. Expressing in my journal what I truly am grateful for also moves me out of feeling a sense of lack and dissatisfaction. If you find yourself feeling frustrated with just not getting to where you wish to be in any area of your life, then I would really start to tune into your automatic responses and question those responses. Are they really true, and are they really yours? Sometimes things may not seem so bad. It's all good. You may feel like you don't actually need or want for anything in life, but you can't seem to shake off this feeling that something is missing in your existence, even if it all appears to be good. In this case, it could be that you are not really living your highest expression, playing smaller than you are actually here to play in the collective. This is not to say that you need to walk away from what you have devoted yourself to, but being honest about how you are truly feeling, where you could foster feeling more alive and aligned in what you are doing, making space for whatever that is that truly lights you up, and not putting it off because others need you to support them in their thriving. We all deserve to thrive, and we all deserve to feel fully alive. And we can do that alongside of each other. It does not require one to dim their light so the other one can shine brighter. Which brings me back to what we believe to be true, and whether or not we are making choices based on accumulated beliefs from family, community, society, and have lost connection with what is true for us at an essence level. And if in order to truly shine in what we are here to do in this lifetime requires a little stepping outside of our comfort zone to elevate our ability or skills, then making space and taking aligned action for that to happen. Also recognizing where we may need to make adjustments and foster conditions for us to actually thrive. It may be that we need to work on understanding at a foundational level how to use the tools and available to us in this modern day society to broaden our connections and contribute to others thriving. Technology is something that can be seen as supportive or destructive, but in the same way that we can choose to use a car to get us to and from our destination, with the awareness that cars can also inflict pain and suffering and even take lives, But in that same way that we no longer cross the country on horse and cart to get to our destination, instead we learn how to maintain a motorised vehicle, taking it to someone with the skills and ability to regularly service it, and understanding ourselves how to check the oil level and which is the right kind of oil that it needs to support the functionality of the engine, and the right type of fuel for that engine type. This is no different to understanding how to use technology, doing what we can for ourselves and seeking assistance in the areas that we don't. But not avoiding using technology because we're hearing negative outcomes that can result from engaging with technology. Instead, focusing on how we can choose to use it in a way that builds community and connection and supports our thriving. The same can be said for our bodies and our human vehicles, fueling and maintaining its health to support our mental, physical, emotional health and well-being. So I ask again, what systems, processes and conditions do you need to help you overcome that thing that you are not naturally gifted in and help you sustain a lifestyle or business that supports your thriving? This is not about fixing yourself, I must say. It's about understanding yourself and actually elevating your abilities. Now, there are a few options that I can support you with, and the first one is a soaring membership. For a small monthly fee, you can journey alongside other people doing business to their own beat, contributing their unique thread to the collective tapestry. This is a group gathering that I facilitate online every fortnight, working in a cyclical manner to grow and thrive in business, taking inspiration from nature, working with the energy of the moon cycle, which correlates with our personal cycle for those operating in a female human vehicle. Taking the opportunity to also connect with other people and receive that ongoing support and encouragement, not feeling alone in our quest. If you'd like to get some support with your digital presence as a micro or small business owner, then I also contribute to a government-funded program, which I offer that support through the New South Wales Australia division. So I'm a coach, a digital guide in that program, and for a small one-off fee, you can receive up to 4 hours of one-to-one coaching to support you in your digital journey. Now, if you're not in New South Wales or even Australia, then consider the Soaring membership, which supports you in a holistic approach to your business. Otherwise, there's also the option of working with me one-to-one through my Embodiment coaching service. This is a highly tailored service geared towards you understanding your unique design, connecting you back to your unique essence, and establishing a way of being that supports you in thriving and operating at your highest expression, whether or not that is through running your own business or working as a part of an organisation, contributing your unique skills. At the basic of basic foundation levels, there's also the Empower Dressing Guidebook, which facilitates you in curating a wardrobe that fosters flow of energy and supports you in feeling good on so many levels, from the drape, the shape, the lines, the colours, the fabrics, accessories, and how they impact the flow of energy through and around your body. The structure that radiates your internal essence as your external expression, and also absorbs frequencies and chemicals that impact your internal system. All the links to these offerings are available in the show notes. So I hope that in this episode I've sparked the idea in your mind that just because things are the way that they are doesn't mean they need to remain that way, and just because your first thoughts may be limiting, they may not actually represent the truth of who you are and what you believe. They could just be thoughts you have acquired by association. Taking notice of when they surface, listening to who else is around that speaks in that way, assessing whether or not they represent a way of being that you desire for yourself or even believe represents your potential. Then perhaps making space to truly connect with your internal essence and others operating from theirs may be an important adjustment to make this year to foster conditions required for you to really create the life you desire for yourself by design. So thank you for listening all the way to the end of this episode. I hope that it provided you with insights and inspiration that you need right now on your quest of fostering thriving. Please do pass this episode on to someone you think would get value out of it too. And I'd really appreciate if you leave a review for this podcast on Apple or Spotify, or a comment on YouTube. I'd love to hear any insights or inspirations is activated in you, and look forward to drumming, dancing, or soaring alongside of you